So if you're a trial rider or dirt bike rider, dual sport, that kind of thing, and you're doing lots of riding and you're thinking you want to travel a bit further or maybe stop overnight or do longer distance trails, multi-day things, one thing you're going to need is a way to carry luggage on your bike. And obviously a lot of bikes you can just get a rack, put it on the back, strap bags on, and it's that easy. But a lot of enduro bikes, lighter weight bikes, they don't have that facility, and the market isn't there with those things. So here's just a cheap alternative method, I've come up with, just for cheaply and simply attaching luggage to your bike. It's fairly universal, should work on almost any enduro bike, any bike for that matter, and just gives you a really cheap and accessible way to carry a bit more luggage with you. So yeah, we've got two systems here. They both have one thing in common, and that's that they use the MOLLE webbing system, which is these strips of webbing. They're spaced 1 inch apart this way and 1.5 inches this way, and you get the same on the bags. So they interlink, and then you join the bags on by weaving a strap from one to the other and then back again, and it gives you this really rigid, sort of tough attachment. Obviously you can change the positioning of the bags, you can fit different shaped bags, and it's a really great system because there's tons of bags available, from first aid kits to bottle holsters to just general utility bags. So yeah, both the things I've got here use that. On the back here, so what this actually is, you can probably see it better from this side. It's called a MOLLE Kombat yoke. MOLLE Kombat yoke, or battle yoke. And so it's basically a backpack, but with no bags. It's just, this bit goes down your back, these are your shoulder straps, and there's extra straps that link that to this end here. And so you'd put it on like a backpack, and you could just attach any bags to the sides here, any bags to the front. So it's not designed for a motorbike at all. But I saw some pictures, saw the shape, and it just looked like it would do the job. It cost £16, they're on eBay, I'll put a link in the description. And it turns out it's pretty perfect for the job, really, because it anchors on the back of the fender. It just loops around here above my light. So it's nice and secure and easy. If you can't do this on your bike, there's always going to be a way to attach loops on here or something, just to get the attachment at this end. There we are. It's made by Kombat Tactical MOLLE Battle Yoke, found on eBay, £16. And then down here, it's just got straps that I thread them around the subframe. There's always going to be some mounting point here somewhere on your bike near the foot pegs, and I've trimmed these straps to length, but it's just standard webbing, so there's always going to be a way to mount it on your bike. And then it goes over the back of the seat, and so with these bags like this, most of the load we're putting on the back of the seat. And a lot of these enduro bikes, the rear fender doesn't have any support, but there is framework underneath the seat, and that's where all the weight of these side bags is being carried, so it's not going to bend your fender, it's not going to damage your bike. And then so on here I've got this MOLLE utility bag. It's from Amazon. This one was under £10. I can't remember the exact name. I think Winx. I think it's a Winx bag. But anyway, there's loads of them. You can choose different sizes and stuff. And inside there's enough space. Sorry, the lighting's not very good in here. For quite a bit of stuff. So I've got my Enduristan toolkit. There's a look through that in another video. I've got my Lezen fat bike pump. Lezen? That thing. That's a XL Micro Drive XL fat bike pump. Punch repair kit. Front inner tube, which is from a mountain bike, but it does inflate to exactly the same size as a front motorbike tyre. And rear tube, which is from a fat bike, and that inflates the same size as a rear tyre, so just that little bit lighter and easier, but that's another story. So you can fit a fair bit of stuff in there. That's all my tools in this side. The other side you'd be able to fit waterproofs and extra water and stuff like that. And then of course on the top here you've got loads of attachment points. Ignore these buckles. These are Enduristan things for a different system. But you've got all these attachment points. You can strap little items on, or just use it for strapping a big roll bag on the back of the bike. So yeah, really useful, really cheap. For the yoke, so £16 for the yoke, about £10 a bag. So for under £40, you can have yourself a luggage system with probably, I don't know what this bag is, about 4 litres. So 4 litres each side, 8 litre luggage system for £40, and then just add whatever you want. Just keep adding bags. So that's on the back, and then after using that for a while, I thought, well, that's great, but it'd be nice to have a way to carry these MOLLE bags on the front as well. And a friend had a throw-over saddlebag thing set over his tank, and it did the job. It looked a little bit goofy. It was cheap, and it did the job. But I thought, well, what about if I could have a way of attaching the bags directly to the panels? So this is what I came up with. So this is a MOLLE webbing system, but it's riveted onto the plastics of my bike. And these enduro bikes, the plastics are cheap. You can buy, these panels, you're talking, I don't know, 10 or 20 pounds a panel. I had some spare. Bought some webbing, loads of rivets. Don't know how well you can see there, but it's just a rivet every 1.5 inches for the horizontal spacing, and then the straps are 1 inch apart. And then these same pouches fit. So I used to have these pouches on the back, now I have them on the front. And it's exactly the same system. So this one is normally first aid, and I've got some goggles, got some gloves, first aid kit in the bottom, just that kind of stuff, visor cleaner and things like that. But I think that's a 2 litre pouch there on the front of the bike. It's out the way, you don't hit your knees on it, you don't really hit anything on it. It doesn't affect the dimensions of the bike much, it just sticks out a couple of inches. And yeah, so there's another really useful way of carrying stuff on these bikes that, otherwise there isn't a lot of space. You have to be use a bit of ingenuity to work out where to put things. And yeah, so that is my MOLLE enduro luggage system, and one day I'll think of a really cool name for it and sell it for millions of pounds. But in the meantime, you can have it for free. You're welcome.